Hello guys, it's time once again for another exciting edition of Wrestling Man's Retro Review. I am Bill Yankovi, and this is not the only place, but one of the coolest places anywhere on YouTube and anywhere on the internet where you're going to find complete reviews of some of the classics, Coliseum home videos, the official and original distributors of WWF videos. Now, before I begin, I do want to mention that this particular retro review, actually the voting ended in a 2-2 tie. So, since I've never had a tie with this, I made the final decision onto which video would be reviewed today for you, the viewing audience, and see if you want to try and get it on Amazon or eBay to add it to your permanent home video library. So, after much consideration and deliberation, hold on, let me get this up. There we go. The video that I've chosen to review today is the Best of the WWF Volume 2. As you see, Mr. Fuji is on the front cover, and he is a part of this tape, and I'll get to him momentarily. But let me get to the tape. It is hosted this time by Gorilla Monsoon, and does his brief introduction, and we get right into the matches. Opening match is for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Adrian Adonis and Dick Murdoch challenging the champions at the time of Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson. Now, what's cool about this is a match that was shown on TV. So you're going to get the whole match, which I thought was pretty cool. And, for TV standards, 1984, they did an okay job with this match. I really liked the ending to the match. I thought the ending was pretty cool. How everybody got distracted in the end, and Adonis got the win with a beautiful roll-up. Adonis and Murdoch win the tag titles. So the next match is an Intercontinental Championship match. Pedro Morales against the Magnificent Morocco. This is from January of 1983. And this was another good match. This one, although unlike the first match, the pace was a little bit slower, but it had good matches. It had a good, story to tell, and it was very entertaining to watch. I thought it was a good match, with Morocco winning the match and becoming Intercontinental Champion. Then we see a couple of highlights of midget matches with Sky Lolo, Little Brutus, in tag team action. So, you get the midgets in there, which is pretty cool, since we don't see much midget wrestling anymore. But I will say this, there's one match, I don't remember who Sky Lolo and Little Brutus were facing, but if you get this tape, Sky Lolo goes all the way to the top rope, and he does like the double stomp, like Kevin Sullivan and Caval does, but he does it on the back of the head of one of the midgets. And I know it's a midget, but still, it looked so cool. I thought it was great. Okay, then after that, probably the oldest piece of footage on any of these Coliseum home videotapes. Professor Toru Tanaka against Chief J Strongbow. Now you can tell that this wasn't in a major arena for many reasons. One, the size of the ring. It looks to be like a 16 by 16 when their rings are 20 by 20. So this is a small ring. Number two, it looks like it's in a high school gymnasium. But, that's what they were back in the days, and it still is. So Lord Alfred Hayes commentates on the match. And, it was a very interesting match. I thought the ending was, it probably would be scrutinized today by us, but the ending was a little bit unique, and Chief J got the win. Actually, I missed one match that I want to go back to. A match between Pedro Morales and Killer Kowalski. And that was a pretty fun match to watch because, it's Killer Kowalski and, it's just a back and forth match. But you see mostly Kowalski in control of that match. Then we go to a musical interlude. That's what they called it. First we have Captain Lou Albano playing the piano, as only Captain Lou can do. And then Mean Gene Okerlund sings that all-time classic Tutti Frutti, with Hulk Hogan playing the bass. You know, I gotta say, Mean Gene has sung that song, for in '85 and used that as his theme song for a while. And it just goes to wonder, why haven't Mean Gene Okerlund and Little Richard come together to do Tutti Frutti? I would buy that record. I would seriously buy that record. If I was the only one on the face of the earth that bought a record of Mean Gene Okerlund and Little Richard singing Tutti Frutti, I'd be fine with it. I really would. Okay, then the next match is Tito Santana against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff for the Intercontinental title in St. Louis, Missouri. This match, I'll be honest, I was expecting a little bit better. It was a good match, don't get me wrong. It's Tito Santana and Paul Orndorff, two very good wrestlers, but I was just expecting a little bit more in this match. But you get a lot of close falls in the match, which makes it good, I think. And, it was really a very good match. But like I said, I just was expecting a little bit more out of that. Then we do a segment of surprise endings. It starts off with Rocky Johnson against Magnificent Morocco, Intercontinental title. And these are just clips, so you're not going to get whole matches on this segment. So Johnson accidentally hits the ref. Referee calls for the bell, disqualifies Johnson for hitting the ref when Morocco clearly pulled the referee in the way. So, very interesting. Then, how about this? This is pretty cool footage. Bobo Brazil against Classy Freddie Blassie. Now, we get to the end of that match, and Bobo wins the match. But it was in a very different way, and I don't think we'll ever see it in wrestling, ever in this day and age. Blassie had his foot tied in between the middle and the bottom rope and tried to get out, couldn't get out. Referee was counting him out. He was on the apron, Blassie was, and got counted out of the ring. It's a different ending. I like those kind of endings where they're different and, it's not something that a lot of people would expect. Then we go to Andre the Giant against the Black Demon. Now, the match had already ended. Andre clearly won because he's Andre the Giant. But Black Demon attacks him after the match. Andre grabs him and takes his mask off. And Black Demon does this beautiful flip while the mask is being taken off, which was pretty funny to see, because Andre could just manhandle anybody. And then, another short footage from a tag team title match, a Texas Tornado death match. It was the Moondogs against Tony Garea and Rick Martel with Gorilla Monsoon, the guest referee. It took place in Philadelphia. Actually, it was Valentine's Day 1981. It listed on the tape. So, the final moments of that match, and Gorilla got involved because, Moondogs weren't paying attention to Gorilla. Come on, you don't mess with the Gorilla. Which leads to Garea and Martel winning and retaining the title. Now, the final match on the tape is a tag team title match, once again, that was shown on television. Tony Garea and Rick Martel against Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito with Lou Albano in their corner. Now, this match was a very good match. A lot of near falls, a lot of, slams in the match. Excuse me. And I really like the ending of the match where Martel goes to the top rope, he jumps. Fuji throws the salt across his face, blinds him, Saito gets the pin, Fuji and Saito win the belts, become tag champs. Referee never saw the salt being thrown. And that's the end of the best of the WWF Volume 2. Now, what is my opinion on this tape? Well, unlike the first one, where the first one had a lot of good, quick action, this one slowed down a little bit, but it did help, with the Pedro Morales Magnificent Morocco match, and the last match that I just mentioned, the tag title matches. A couple of cool segments, the surprise endings, and the musical interlude with Mean Gene singing Tutti Frutti. You can never go wrong with Mean Gene Okerlund singing Tutti Frutti, especially when you got Hulk Hogan playing the bass, and Hulk is a very good bass player. So, all in all, while this tape is not as good as the first Best of the WWF tape, it is a watchable tape, and I would recommend it. Okay, now, once again, I'm going to give out a gold, silver, and bronze medal for the 3 video series in the second edition of this video collection, which is the WWF's Most Unusual Matches, Andre the Giant, and the Best of the WWF Volume 2. All 3 of those tapes are really good tapes, so this is a hard one to decide. But, here's how the order would go. WWF's Most Unusual Matches gets the gold medal. Andre the Giant gets the silver, and the Best of the WWF Volume 2 gets bronze, although I would recommend all 3 of those tapes to buy on Amazon or eBay if you are looking to buy old WWF tapes. Well, that does it for me for this edition of Wrestling Man's Retro Review. I hope you enjoyed this review, and keep your eyes open. Sometime in the next couple of weeks, you the fans will once again get the opportunity to vote for the next Wrestling Man's Retro Review. Have a good Saturday, everyone.